to the speak. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm just going live on Facebook here. Bear with me for one sec. And
You
we'll,
go right ahead, Peg, and you do all your little technical things there, and I'll
yeah, well,
I'll make
okay.
sure your audience doesn't get too bored.
Okay. All right. I'll leave the audience to you, Paul. Thank you. This is
Hmm.
this is taking longer than it usually does.
That's all right. Those technical difficulties. Hi, guys. I love the fact that Peg's given me a chance. She trusts me with her audience, and I don't know if you've been following Peg, but she's built a massive audience not only on this platform but many other platforms. And I urge you seek her out, especially if you're really seriously thinking about doing some sort of additional income, or thinking about the product space, whether it's with the company she's in or not. It's irrelevant. There's so much great content and understanding, and so much trial and error that I've been, working with Peg for quite a while now, both on the coaching side and on the business side, and it takes a lot to get to the point that you're at. And if you could short circuit or circumvent some of that learning curve, and you could do that just by following and watching Peg, I think that's very valuable information, regardless of what you're doing. I mean, even if you sell cars, it doesn't matter. How we doing,
Well,
Peg? Are we up and live?
we are up and live, so I want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Paul. And I want to say welcome, everybody. Welcome to Wealth Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday to share things that we have learned with the community, with the home-based business community. And today, I wanted to give you a chance. You have met Paul Capozio before. You've seen him on this broadcast. So many of you know him well, but I wanted to give you a chance to get to know him a little better. Paul's someone that I've worked with very closely for, as Paul said, a few years now. He's had a huge impact in my life. And I wanted to give you a chance to get to know him a little better and understand what makes him tick. So
Yeah.
Paul, I thank you so much for doing this. So, in hearing your experience over the years, first of all, you've had such incredible success in business before you came into this industry. And you
Thank
said
you.
no to this industry for years. You kind of dismissed it, right? As so many of us do. And if you could tell everyone what finally made you say yes to the industry, what was it that that says like, all right, I'll give this a try, and what about it is different that you found when you were on the inside than when you were looking from the outside?
I'm making a couple of notes, but first off, those of you who know me and you're still here, I really appreciate that. Thanks for giving me that vote of confidence. But I will tell you guys, getting to know me, I'm a little bit of an acquired taste because first impressions, I seem like I might be a tough guy or this or that, and when you get to know me, I'm a typical Cancer if you follow astrological signs, where I'm they seem crusty on the outside, but it's all soft and mush on the inside. And I think that's a great value because sometimes you need to have that role, and you need to be on the defense and you need to be on offense, especially in this business, right? You got to have a thick skin. So if I could tell you that what you see on the outside is probably the development of that and how I've turned it into a positive over the years. So what I'm basically saying is I'm not perfect and you don't need to be in this business, but you truly have to care about people. Um, and once you make that decision, that's the secret. I'm going to end with the magic secret. And the magic secret is you have to have a desire to want to genuinely help people, and then everything else falls into place. As far as dismissing the industry, I really got involved for product. I was aware of these businesses before. I had people, personal friends, 30-year personal friends who made millions and millions of dollars in the industry. So I was well aware of what you can do with the business. I didn't know the how. I knew the what could happen, but the how. And my perception of the how is the perception that a lot of you have, that it's snake oil and it's this, and you're convincing people to do things that they really don't want to do. And once I got on the inside and I truly realized what it's all about. And the biggest challenge is getting people to honestly take a look and realize that I've been in traditional business. I've been on Wall Street. I've did mergers and acquisitions. We've let thousands of people go from their jobs, when we did an acquisition. And when you realize how the real world is, this business is actually slightly similar with a lot more heart, because it's not just a paycheck that we work for here. What we work for here is really building our own opportunities, building our own business. Yes, the companies that we work with, provide everything we need to do other than just really getting the message out. And that's what we're paid for, right? But we eat what we kill, right? We don't pay, companies don't pay us to do what we do. We pay a company to join, and then we do what we do. And that's like starting any business. If you own a restaurant, you got to go out and buy tables, or if you own a car repair place, you got to go out and buy a big expensive toolbox, and you got to know what you're doing too. Fortunately, with our business, you can literally learn on the fly because of people like Peg or because of people like me that have really kind of paved the road already, that you could literally build your airplane while it's flying. That really doesn't exist in any other business. Even if you bought a McDonald's, they send you to McDonald's University so you could learn how all the processes work. So you could spend millions of dollars getting ready for this income opportunity. And a lot of people just don't have that. And this industry provides that, providing you truly understand what the business is all about. It's not get rich quick, but you do it a hell of a lot faster than working 20, 30 years in a company, right? Depending on what your income level that you want to make is. But I will tell you, it's not the industry that brought me here. It was the products. And I know most of the companies, I have friends in other companies, that the products are really amazing. They're really well done. They have to be better than the average product because of the people out there, their perceived challenges with this business. It's so funny when a friend will call us up and say, "Hey, man, I just started doing this new thing." And it's like right away the walls go up. But meanwhile, that same person will watch a silly TV commercial and buy some new cereal or something that's loaded with crap in it, right? Because they love the advertisement, or a new beer, or a new restaurant chain that just opened up. And we're so willing to do that because there's something holding us back. And it's when you do this business long enough, you'll meet so many people that what you're really trying to do is realize how close-minded they are and why they're in the position that they're in, because of the choices that they made and the belief systems that they have and all the things that happened to us ever since we're a child. And we carry all that baggage with us. So the simplest thing to do is just go and get a job and have somebody else tell us what to do, and then gripe about that, about how tough it is. And I'm not talking about people who are just making $20,000 a year. I'm talking about there's people that are watching this that are probably making close to $300,000-$400,000 a year, and you're in the same situation. You're in that situation where somebody's telling you what to do and how to do it, and you think you could do it better, or certain processes are in place that you disagree with, but you do them because you have to. And that's what doesn't exist in this business. Now, I do, on the other hand, I love the fact that you could follow systems and strategies that are proven and then improve upon them. But there's no ceiling to this. There's no ceiling to the income. There's no ceiling to the product line. There's really zero ceiling to anything. And the biggest challenge is people, you think you know what we already know. So to talk to somebody who's never built in the industry or dabbled in it because their brother-in-law asked them to join some company and never really witnessed the real behind the scenes of what this business is all about, and you'll never understand why it's a $90 billion industry, why we're bigger than the NFL, the NHL, the WBA, the NBA, all combined. All combined. And you got a
Yeah.
better chance of being a millionaire in this industry than any other industry out there. I mean, the chance of me playing major league football it was never going to happen, right? But the chances of me being a multiple seven-figure earner, well, it did happen here, when I got rid of a lot of the limiting beliefs that I had. And you all have them. We all have them. I don't want to go into detail of, like, from Elon Musk all the way down to your child who's right now trying to get on the little league team, and there's some things bubbling up, and you can, as a parent, personal development is just a big thing in our industry, that you could learn so much in other areas of your life. And Peg, I want to go back to you because I've seen your growth over the last 5, 6 years. What I
Well,
wanted to get your feedback on that.
yeah, no, I want to get into that because you said so many good things, Paul.
Yeah,
And
sorry, but
what's that?
I said sorry about that, but
No, you said so many
yeah.
good things. I mean, I loved what you said about, the product needed to be better than the average product. It's so true. But I want to get into the personal development and the mentorship part because you talked about, opening a restaurant and what's involved with that. And
And
compared
I
to
did, and it failed,
yeah, and well, and you know that I was a store owner, right? I
right?
was a
Of course.
business owner, and I was learning while I was flying. But let me tell you, it was painful. I didn't
Yeah.
have leadership. I had no one, no one telling me this is the way. I wasn't part of a franchise. I was doing my own
Right.
thing. And it was really painful, the learning part. And I did a lot of things wrong. But in the end, when I take a look at this, it's the mentorship and the leadership, and you've done so many things to encourage me to grow. I've had, in you, I've had someone who believed in me before I believed in myself, right? So this is what I want to get into is your style of what is mentorship meant to you in your success in this business, and if you could talk a little bit about your unique style of helping people to grow.
Well, my unique style is because it's put together, it's a Frankenstein's monster of, of training and courses and people and getting, fed into and feeding into other people and making mistakes and getting the wrong advice and giving the wrong advice and maybe falling in love with the way someone said something instead of what they really said. And I think that happens in this industry a lot. We're just so enamored by this great orator of a speaker, and then I'll sit back and diagnose what they actually really said. And I'm like, oh my God, I just listened for an hour and a half and they said absolutely nothing. But it sounded so good and so inspiring because of the tone. So here's what I'm going to tell you. This is probably the best opportunity for a coward. I mean, that's really what I would say. And I'm going to tell you that I can sting, but if I sting you to the point where you grow, isn't that what you ever grow tomatoes or you grow any kind of flowers, and you know what deadheading is? Deadheading is when you take the dead flowers or the flowers that are dying and you take them off to encourage the new growth, right? Or if you got a tomato plant and this thing is overloaded with tomatoes, you're better off getting rid of a bunch of them and let the good 6 or 8 tomatoes on this plant grow and experience this amazing fruit development, right? And that's what this business, or that's what any business is when you're coaching people and getting mentored. You have to deadhead, you have to prune, you have to make the hard decisions. When you plant, seeds in the ground, like if you're growing corn, the average farmer will put 3 seeds in each hole. And sometimes all three will sprout. In most cases, just one out of the three will sprout. There's a lesson in there, and I'm not going to go too deep, but three to get one. And sometimes you're like, oh my God, all three sprouted. But what do you do? What does a farmer do? He's getting rid of the two smaller shoots and he's taking the strongest and the biggest shoot because he needs to develop that crop. Now, it may seem painful to you, but it's necessary, and it's necessary in our own lives. So I'm going to tell you that not every mentoring session, every training session is painless, right? It's sometimes you have to call people out on what they're doing. I'll never forget when my mentor, one of my mentors, started working with me, and I said, "Look, this is the way my organization is structured." He goes, "Da, da, 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 da. Go into your back office. I want to see exactly what you're making, what you did last month, what you did the last 6 months, what you did the last 3 years." And to be honest with you, I mean, that's one of the things why this industry has a bad name. A lot of people will talk a big game, but are you willing to open up your back office so people can really, the mentors? I'm not talking about the regular general public, but your mentors to know where you really are, because it's like going to the doctor. If you don't tell the doctor, if he says, do you drink? Well, yeah, occasionally. Well, if occasionally is every night, that's not occasionally, right? So if you got to be honest with it to get to the next level. Now, this may be a little bit advanced for people who are just getting started in the business, but let's say you're just getting started and you have all these great ideas. You want to run TV commercials, you're going to put ads in the newspaper. No, follow the people who've gone before you and the systems and the strategies that they're using. Once you have them down, look, this industry is a mastery of the basics, right? We talk about getting to the highest rank in a company. Well, I'm at the highest rank in my company, okay? And I've been one of the first people to get there. Um, Okay, and that's purely by ignorance on fire. But all that really means is I've opened up every potential way to make money the way our company offers money, and yours will be the same. And I've mastered the basics. It's like a black belt in karate, right? A black belt in karate is not the last belt. It's the first belt of the expert level where you've mastered the fundamentals and mastered the basics. And that's really what rank requirements are all about. And, some of the things in the industry that may turn off the newbie about, oh, I got to do this rank and it's all culty. No, it's motivation. It's something to strive for, right? So if you've been in a company before and you achieve ranks, let me tell you the beauty of it. The beauty of our industry and rank advancement and goal setting is that there's a predetermined outcome, meaning that if I get to the next rank in my company, I know exactly how much more I'm going to make, and I'm exactly what they can give me and what they could take away from me. If I'm working in a company and I'm doing an amazing job, and I sit down with HR at the end of the year, or on my renewal, or on my what you call it day, what do you call it again? Your
I'll
annual
review.
review,
Yeah.
right? You have your annual review or quarterly review, whatever it may be. And they tell you what a horrible job you did or whatever, you're not going to expect a raise, and you get it. And you'll probably know when you're walking in the door. But more often than not, you go into that review period, especially in the latest economy, and you go in for that review, and they tell you, "Well, we're really happy with what you're doing. Your work is excellent. The turnover is great. The workload. The more we give you, the more you do. It's absolutely amazing. We're really happy." Now, we normally give anywhere from 2 to 5% raise, but I'm sorry to tell you that this year we're not giving any raises. They're on hold for everybody. So if anyone ever deserved a raise this quarter or this year, would be you. It's just not something we're doing. And that happens more so than not. Or what about going in and getting a 2% raise, where one of our first raises in our industry is a 50% raise? Like, we have what's called cycle bonuses. And I don't want to get into the detail, but if you go from $40 a cycle to $60 a cycle, that's significant. But so the beauty of the business is I don't go to the owner of our company and say, "Hey, what do I need to do to make more money?" It's already pre-printed in the bylaws and in your compensation plan. So you can plan for the future with this type of a business. You can foretell what's coming just based on your efforts, and you'll know the goals. So it's all there in black and white, whether your upline tells you or not. Whether you bought some course or not. It's all there in black and white. It's all there in black and white. And if you're not getting the coaching and the training and the support that you're getting from, because you think the person that recruited you into your company is not really at that level yet, well, then come to us and get trained. We're not telling people to quit their businesses, but if we make the business better for everybody, the business will grow bigger for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's
That
that's been my philosophy from day one, why
I
we
know
do
it
so
has.
much
I
for
know it has.
free.
And this is why, you and Angel put together Lion Pride, and this is why the lions are behind us, right? So I will put the link to Lion Pride Academy, and that's a place that you can go learn. And you talked
Nobody
about
tries
the
to recruit you. Nobody tries to get you to switch your other company. None of that. We're just giving you the stuff that works for us. And we're actually all building. So we didn't invent these things 10 years ago, or we built 30 years ago. We're building now. We're building now. We're in momentum now. We're building in multiple countries, and there's a lot going on. But I'm an abundance mindset person. I know that if I help you, if you allow me to, because a lot of you are sitting there like this right now saying, "What does this guy know? And who does he think he is?" And blah, blah. And I get all of that, but that's a you problem. That's where, when you get this feeling, whether looking at the business or you're already in the business, or I find the bigger the paycheck of the leader, the more they're like this, the
Mhm.
more they're open, the more they're willing to share, right? I find out that the smaller the paycheck, the smaller the mindset, and I see a lot of this, right? So what we're telling you is, don't just go get, if you get one nugget that changes your business, one little technique. I had one of my early mentor, trainer, coaches, whatever. It wasn't really a mentor because we didn't speak one on one, but Big Al, Tom Schreider, was on our show the other night. We have this show every Monday night, and we bring in these top trainers, and Peg's got Fraser Brooks coming on, and people of that caliber. We're talking real deal. And I remember it brought back so many memories of the techniques and everything I developed reading his books 7 years ago. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And if you really listen to a lot of the stuff that I do and talk about, it's really a distilled down version of what Big Al did, and what Todd Falcone did, and Ray Higdon and Eric Worre and all of these people. You know what I mean? And it comes through your own filter, and that's what needs to happen for you too. Don't try to be Eric or Ray or Todd or Big Al. Just get that, absorb that, and find out what works with you and your personality type, right? I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but guess what? Out of the 90,000 people in my organization, you'll find somebody you like and that you want to learn from,
I
you
loved
know?
what you said, Paul, about the about someone sitting like this, and
Oh,
and
see it
and
all the
and
time.
typically that comes from someone who maybe hasn't had success before, so they're looking for the reason why they won't
Gee, I
have
wonder
success,
why. I wonder
right?
why they haven't
Right?
had success
And
before.
Yeah, and like Ray Higdon tells a story about talking to someone and saying, that okay, so what happened in your last company? Well, what's going to make this company different, right?
Right.
That it is a you problem. It is your perspective, and those people who don't have that skepticism about it, right? Those are the ones. That's the people that lean in.
Right. Or the people who realize, like, okay, so here's a quick bit of advice. Whenever something I say or Peg says or anybody you're watching or you see the guy in the Ferrari and it bothers you, that's the clue of where you need to do the work, right? Because you're missing out on something. You don't understand why that may be working for someone. The guy sitting next to the Ferrari, and you're like, well, it's probably not even his. And, I don't know if it's, is he really, does he own that private jet or does he have a timeshare on the jet and he uses it when he needs it? Who cares? Who cares? The point is why and how did they achieve that, and whether you spend your money on, there was an old Indian saying that, I wish I had the money to buy an elephant. And they would say, well, what would you do with an elephant? So no, no, I don't want the elephant. I just want to be able to afford one. Right. So there's so much like that we close ourselves off and it inhibits our growth that you're failed before you even started. You've failed before you've even started. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Did I
Yeah.
train of
No,
thought?
I just so much good stuff here. I have a list of questions for you, and I didn't need one of them. I think.
I'm sorry. I'll let you ask another one too, because I
No,
can
no,
go on and
no,
on.
no.
But
I mean, we covered so much of things that I wanted to ask you, and I kind of knew that going into this, I wouldn't need any questions, Paul.
well, that's probably my some of my fault, right? Because I just get into a zone and just want to deliver and give and go on from there. And it's
Absolutely.
sometimes it's detrimental and sometimes it's positive.
Absolutely. No, it's so good. So you've dropped so much good information. And I want to say
Everybody
to
needs work.
anyone watching right now, I want to tell you, if you want to share this with people, let me know that you shared because I'm doing a drawing at the end of the year. I'm giving away my two favorite books of the year. So
Oh,
let
good.
me know that you shared. But Paul, your focus and your commitment is so clear, right? What do you do to keep yourself so focused? And this industry is changing all the time, right? So how do you keep yourself so focused?
So understanding that change is inevitable and change is the only constant, right? When you start realizing if who moved my cheese, all of that kind of stuff. It's really important to constantly be aware of that. There's a lot of people in crisis right now because the companies are changing the comp plan model and everything else. Like, oh, this is a bad industry. Really? Walmart's closing a ton of stores. 7-Eleven's, oh, they're closing like 1,500 to 1,700 stores. This is a common occurrence. But when you have, Big Al said it best the other night on the show, and he said that, there's 2,000 network marketing companies out there, and three or four made a decision. Like, really? Come on. And that's why I think when we teach, Angel and I teach the 5 pillars about what to look for in a company. Don't join a company because your best girlfriend's doing it and you go, oh, it'd be so much fun together, right? Well, somebody's going to quit, right? Or somebody's not going to work as hard as the other person. You really have to make a personal decision when you get into this business, like any job to consider. Is the job too far? Do you have to drive too many hours to get there? All of that consideration we do with a job. More people will make the wrong decision and yet overthink it to the nth degree. So what do you got to look for? You got to look for perfect timing. You got to truly know what that means. It doesn't mean the brand new company that's just starting. You got to have unique products so you're not competing with Amazon and everything else. Uniqueness is really key. You got to have great leadership. You got to have a great comp plan, and you got to know where the company is going. I was talking to a woman last night, and I don't want to give any names away, and I don't want to give any industries away. And she's with a company that solicited me, and I know that, and to be honest, I even still have a position in that company to this day, but I knew the owner was building it to sell it. I mean, he's made no bones about it. He's done it 3 times already, and he's building the company as a customer acquisition tool so he could sell the company outright in the end, which he's done numerous times before. He makes no bones about it. There's nothing wrong with that. But to me, that was part of my decision process, knowing that going in about, okay, well, what am I going to do when he sells it? I'm going to go rebuild again. How does that build residual income? Good company, good people. The guy is brilliant, but the handwriting's on the wall, right? Of what's going to happen. So if you're good for a 5-year plan or a 3-year plan, that's fine. I was looking for something that is going to last me a significant amount of time, that I'm not
Yeah.
going to have to. Now, anything can happen, but at least you got to but if you
You just
already
got quiet,
know,
Paul.
what, sorry?
You just got quiet.
I'm sorry. How's that?
There you
Any
go.
better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was adjusting something. I thought I was I'm just getting used to this other microphone setup. So when um when you start looking into companies, you really got to figure out if does their vision and strategy align with your vision and strategy. And as much as you may love the product and you may love the people, if you don't hit all five of these points, there's going to be a pain point or a pinch point for you at some time. So you have to figure out what those 5 points are and what they mean to you and what they'll mean to the people that you bring into the business. And there's so much we can do. You know what I'm going to do, Peg? I'm going to offer your listeners, I will do a 1 hour coaching session. I'll let you give away a 1 hour coaching session of my time.
Wow.
Which yeah, for anyone, I will not pitch you on my company. You won't even know the company I'm in. And I just want, but be prepared. Be prepared to be honest and tell me what your needs are and tell me what you're most struggling with because I really want to make it valuable. I want you to be able to leave this 1 hour session where you leave there a better network marketer or you have a better understanding of the industry or a better understanding of your own business. So I'm going to however you raffle it away, give it away. I don't care. That's entirely up to you. But an hour to any one of your listeners who wins or gets picked, I don't know, whatever you want to do. And I'll be
So
willing
I'll
to do
say
that.
share this video. Let us know that you shared, and your name will go in, and the first prize will be a one-on-one 1 hour coaching with Paul. Very very valuable. That's amazing, Paul. Thank you. That's
You're very
awesome.
welcome. You're very welcome.
So
So, I mean, we've done many, many hours of coaching and training together. So, you'll get something out of it, even if it's just, something as basic as, where you are in the business right now and what needs to be done. It may be an exploratory process it's like going for a physical, where you are because we get so bogged down in systems. And I get so upset with these people like fire your upline and and you don't ever have to recruit again. Guys, people who are telling you on Facebook that you never have to recruit again are recruiting you. They're recruiting you into their thing. If you join us, you'll never have to do this again. Well, guess what? You're getting recruited,
they're recruiting. Yeah.
right? They're recruiting. This business is about really a couple of things. Number one, it's offering amazing products to people, and you have to believe in that, and then you have to solve a problem, right? Your product does not, one size does not fit all. Your product is not for everyone. Your business is not for everyone. But for the millions of people that it is for, work that niche.
Mm.
And as far as the business is concerned, right? You don't know. I would have never recruited me. I would have never, ever recruited me. Wall Street, this, that, blah, blah. I would have never been on my own radar. And that's probably the biggest mistake most people make.
Yeah.
Recruiting down people that we feel we have influence over or can be influenced by us, right? And that's not what you want. You want a team of if you're trying to fill a roster for a Super Bowl winning football team, who are you going to go after? You're going to go after all the Heisman Trophy winners. You're going to go after the top college players. You're going to send scouts out, and you're going to find out who's going to best be able to deliver you that Super Bowl trophy to you.
Yeah.
That's the way you got to look at a team. I want people better than me. There's no doubt I have zero social media game compared to Peg. Zero misspellings, uncropped pictures, et cetera, et cetera. So I leave that to the pros, but I'm glad I get to work with Peg because by design and by fate, that benefits me too. That's the beauty of the business is how we all benefit each other. So when you get mad at a top leader, like, oh, they're making all the money, that no, 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 no. They're creating an environment that you get free support and coaching, and they're going to give you their time, but be worthy of their time.
Mm.
Be worthy of their time. If we get that coaching session and I give you a free coaching session because you won something, but I see something in you that I see is worth it, make it worth it. Make me say, oh my God, I'm going to give this person 1 hour training a week or a month or a year or whatever it's going to be. Be the person that's deserving of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very, very critical. And it's not for our benefit, to my benefit. It's to your benefit. Be the person that gets recruited. Be the person that gets the attention. I'm going to close with this because my daughter danced ballet at a very, very high level. And if you understand anything about the ballet world in New York City and, all of San Francisco and all of that stuff, and we were very fortunate that she did intensives with all of these great companies, Miami City and Houston and New York City, and, you know, and we understood how they coach and the what do you call it? The instructors or whatever they call them. I don't know. We would ask her when she would come back, did you get any corrections today? And what that would mean is, as the ballet teacher is going around the room and they grab the girl's foot and twist it into this crazy position, or they tap the cane really loud in front of somebody, or yell at them, or snap their fingers, that's a correction. And at first, when you don't understand ballet, you're going to say it's very cruel. And when you do understand ballet, you ask your daughter or your son who's dancing at a very high level, did you get any corrections today? Did you get any abuse today? I'm going to tell you why. Because there's many, many people that never get that correction. And that's how you know you're operating at a high level, is the number of corrections that an instructor or teacher is willing to give you
Mm,
because they know there's potential there. So if someone's paying attention to you in their business, right, that means you're worthy of that attention. And if you're not getting it, what do you need to do to start earning that? Okay. So I hope that helps.
so good.
Thank you, Peg.
So good. This was amazing. Thank you so much,
Thank,
Paul. I
thank
want to
you.
invite everyone to check out, we mentioned lionpradacademy.com. I will put it in the comments. Go there and look around. If you enjoyed this, if you got value in this, smash the heart button. Give us some thumbs up and let us know. And we will give you the link to Lion Pride. It's free. And like Paul said, there's no products mentioned, there's no companies mentioned. It is all generic network marketing gold training. So
And
so
it's growing every single day, every single day.
yeah.
There's more information there.
Yeah.
And you
I'm
can
so
see all the replays of Todd Falcone and Big Al. Oh, I got to do Big Al. I got to set up the Big Al
yeah,
thing
that
and
was
get that up there
amazing.
so you can watch it. Yeah.
That was amazing.
And if you text Empower to 732-913-8581, text Empower to 732 913-8581, you'll get notified every time we have one of these top trainers on with us. You'll get notified of the Fraser Todd
Yep.
thing, and we got some other people coming up too. We got Tom Challen and his wife, right?
Yep.
So we got a lot of powerful players, not just trainers, but actual multiple 6 and 7 figure earners who come on too. So you're not just hearing from us and how we build our business, you're hearing it from people building other businesses. So really good value there.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. And I'll put that in the comments too. So you can link to that. So thank you again. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate you.
Thank you.